Hey everybody, it's JJamJim. Welcome back to episode 4 of our City Skylines tutorial slash Let's Play. And we're taking a look at the little bit of park that we made last time by hand, our handmade little park. I think it fills this area in very nicely. So I was thinking for this episode, and kind of for this series in general, is I didn't really have a plan for how long this series would go. My thinking is that we go true vanilla all the way through the milestones, and then at that point, if we want to keep going, if you guys are really enjoying it and want to keep seeing this city evolve, I think I may do some sort of a poll, or maybe just poll the comments and see what you guys think. But at that point, I think I would like us to figure out if we want to keep continuing this city and then add mods, or mods and assets, or we start something totally fresh and do something a little bit different with some mods and assets. So we'll get to that when we want, but that's kind of what I'm thinking now, and we are having some fires here. Oh goodness. I don't know if they're going to be able to get to these trees. The trees just may go, and then... Well, you know what? It's rebirth, right? We're having this very same issue in our city that we're streaming as well. Same issue. Fires are rampant here in City Skylines. So, yeah. So what I was thinking is we should expand the city out and try to get our population up, because we do have a demand for residential, and we are very close to our next milestone. So let's try to hit that in this episode. And as far as the farming goes, I think this is looking really, really nice. I don't want to make this so much bigger, though. We may put another, like, slip road on this side and maybe do some farming over here. But then I think we're going to have to call it for that. And I don't want to make it any bigger just because of traffic. And at some point, we'll have to make this a four-way interchange, and expand the highway out this way. Although I don't think the highway is going to meet back up with any other actual highway, so what will happen probably is it will just end, you know, right into a city center, or just, you know, transform into a road, right, and just have an end to it. The other nice thing about going back to expanding to the point where we've hit all the milestones and then moving on to using mods and assets is it actually would be a very good, almost secondary tutorial series based on how do you make adjustments and changes, sweeping changes to things like interchanges that have become so integral in your city, or how do I add, you know, different things that I want to add or change things. Because when I'm streaming City Skylines over on Twitch, a lot of questions and thoughts that I get asked about are, you know, how do you not? People always start over. They're not happy with their city, so they just start a new map. They get a little overwhelmed by how much they can do and how much is possible, and you know, how do I make changes? And sometimes they're not happy with their city, so they just want to start over. And the way I see it is City Skylines is built in a way that allows you can just destroy things and start over. Now, things become harder and easier, like I've said before in this series, but it might be a nice way to showcase just how easy it is. And, you know, once you just go for it, right, to get rid of stuff and try again, or just say, you know what, I don't like this part of the neighborhood, or I don't like this interchange, or I don't like how my rail is set up, so let's just redo it. So I think we might end up doing that. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of a brain dump right here in the video, but that thought just kind of occurred to me. Anyway, let's get back to building here, or let's just actually start building. So I think we're going to continue this road around this island, and what we might do is put some like really cool monument building or something over here, or have like our harbor right here and then start connecting some of our islands with ferries and things. Well, we're gonna have to unlock that first, but yeah, that's kind of the longer term idea. So again, I don't want to go too close to the water's edge, because we may want to either put another road, like another service type of road next to it, or pathways. So let's not get too close. For now, let's preserve that little rock formation. Let's just kind of go. Heck, I'm just gonna do that. Just nice sweeping curves. And then where should we connect back up? I feel like that makes the most sense for now. You can always change it in the future. Because what is this? This is just a 2-lane road. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slide this down. And I'm actually going to increase the size of this road and make it a 4-lane. Perfect. And then this actually gets tucked right up against the road there, and that's totally fine. And then let's just put this back in the corner. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to bring this out just a bit. And then we'll go back to our curved road tool. Hit the perfect curve. Boom. Snap it. Lovely. And honestly, the terrain itself is not that bad. The sloping is actually pretty solid. Now again, if we do decide to go back and start using mods and things, we are probably going to be able to terraform as many of the things. But you know what? I am more than okay with saying, you know what, we don't like one of these neighborhoods because it's so sloped or it looks a little wonky. Let's just destroy it, terraform to our liking, and then rebuild something new and fresh. And maybe we'll come up with some better ideas that we didn't have before and make it the neighborhood it was always meant to be, you know? That's just my my positive thinking there on that. Okay, so I like that. That's actually really nice. So let's start building out some of these neighborhoods. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to upgrade the highway here, since we have those roads available, to our 3-lane. Great. And then I'm going to upgrade our off-ramps to be highway ramps. Now, honestly, for this type of situation we have here, it actually might be best to put roundabouts on either side, sort of like this dumbbell type of a thing. Kind of a dumbbell. Actually, it's just a double roundabout interchange. Dumbbell's something different. But it might be advantageous to us, unless we decide to have some sort of an on-off system over here so that our trucks don't have to go this direction. Because the way it's going to go, and let's just do it, is the way I'm seeing it is that this road is going to continue on. Let's make sure it's 90. Here we go. So this road's going to continue on, probably cross this river. It's going to be this is probably going to be a very thick based, very heavy traffic road at some point. Because we may end up crossing over here as well, right? We can make it a 6-lane road, but again, upgrading to 6 lanes doesn't always solve traffic problems. So we'll just keep that in mind. Because the roundabout system over here could actually really, really help. And you know what? In the name of destroying things and starting anew, let's do just that. Right now. We're doing it right now. Okay. So, let's go up a little bit more. To about... Actually, so in this instance, because we have this bridge, and I want to make sure we have a really, really nice slope going down to the roundabout, we're going to start over on this side and land where we want to land at our 12-unit mark. Okay. That means we're going to have to move these ramps a little bit, and that's okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to connect these. Then I'm going to grab this. Let me see. I'm trying to think. So I want to go 1, 2. Where's that? 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it's 4 units. Let's go 5. to 5. Is that even? That doesn't look even, does it? That is 6. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn off the road guidelines, because that's what's giving me that dashed arrow. And what the game wants me to do is lock on to this highway ramp over here for some reason, right? So if we turn that off, we're going to be able to do our 5 just fine. Is that crooked? Okay. So let's go like this. Now, what that should do for us is go out by the 5 units. Oh, that actually did not work. What am I doing here wrong? I did that wrong. So, okay, I'm gonna actually make this simpler. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know it's 5 because we get that line, right? So another 5. And then 5. There we go. Always double check. There we go. I find 5x5 roundabouts are a good size. Now, little roundabout trick. In case you don't know about it. You might know about it by now if you have watched Skylines videos. It's nothing super crazy. But let's say, for instance, that because right now, this is our snap point. See how the, boom, snaps, right? And it's going to only snap there on the other side. Equidistant to the other 2 roads, right? So, but let's say, for example, we wanted to like attach this road right here. We wanted to come into this roundabout right here. If I click on this, it's going to distort the roundabout. It's going to change the shape of it. It's something with the game, unless I snap here, and it won't. Now, just to be safe, and if you ever do want to do that, what you can do to preserve that shape is by creating roads that go through like that. Because then, if I was to go here, it doesn't change the shape of the roundabout. Whereas, I'll just show you what happens. I'll rebuild it. If I did this. Oh. Oh, I wonder if they changed that. Well. Color me silly. Interesting. Okay, well. Trust me. I don't know if that's a fluke or what happened, but it definitely used to do that. Oh boy. As you can tell, it's been a while since I've made City Skylines videos. I'm going to expand this out further. I figure we'll probably end up looping out and then back over here at some point. I don't know when it's going to do that, though. If we want to touch this other island or not. Yeah, I think we are going to want to touch this. Because then we'll kind of have yeah, because then we'll probably have the highway going this direction as well. And then we can link up a 4-way right through here. Okay, so in that case, let's start curving it just ever so slightly in this direction. And we're going to need to get over that road. We'll figure that out in a sec here. Oh, I need my road guidance back now because I want it to tell me. There we go. Boom. And these should still be 2 units apart. Excellent. So now that's pretty much straight on with this island, right? Just for future purposes. I think what we'll end up doing is probably bridging over this road and then sliding over here. Because once we're going to want to put boats in, we are going to want our bridges to be higher because otherwise our ships will clip underneath them, which isn't really necessarily a bad thing for the game, but for realism purposes, it doesn't look all that great. We'll get there when we get there, though. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So let's do a roundabout on the other side. We'll we'll do our 5x5 trick. Wow, that actually works out perfectly. That's amazing. See the road? See how the road guidelines? There we go. It snaps. It snapped, but it took a little bit there. Great. Awesome. Now we're gonna make this actually. Now that we've put these in, let's make this 2-lane highway. Just so we can get some speed coming through here. There we go. Oh, you know why it didn't do that? Do you know why it didn't distort the roundabout? I know why now. I just saw it. So, did you see how I had to upgrade just this little tiny chunk right here? I think what happened was when I put that road in, when I had the cross hairs in it, is it created a new node at that point. And once I create a node, that creates a snapping point. And that's why it didn't distort. So there you go. But I promise you, well, I can't promise you, but I can be fairly certain that if we wouldn't have done that, it would have distorted the roundabout. Alright, so now let's connect to our arms. And let's have it go out at an angle and almost straight, because really what you want is them to come off here and then as gradually and as fast as they can get onto that is the better. Okay, so let's do the same thing over here. Try to match this up. Great. Because then, again, they're coming in, they can just slip right into that lane, and we can keep their speed going, so they're not slowing anyone down in the roundabout. Now, it's quite oversized, but it's going to be great. And you know what? I'm going to redo this one, because it was not perfectly straight, and I know we can get it perfectly straight, so let's do it. There we go. There we be. Although, wait a minute. Is it still not right? Sorry to be nitpicky. There we go. Cool. Now, this should be pretty great for traffic, and if it gets crazy, we can make these on-ramps and off-ramps 2-lane highway, if needed. But I think this is going to be pretty good for traffic. And will last us for a while. Let's put this on 2-speed and kind of just see how the AI performs here. Yeah. I think it's going to be quite good. And we shouldn't get any of these backups anymore.
Square packages.
Yeah. Perfect. Alright. See, this is why you want to have enough space for interchanges. Right? Because it gets... We didn't have to destroy any buildings, anything on either side, and that's because we have afforded ourselves enough space initially. And that's always a good thing. Alright. So, get rid of that, please. Thank you. Alright. So now that we've done that, let's keep going with this neighborhood that we've sort of been building. And I think what I'd like to do is up and over this road. Like, let's keep pushing this forward, but I think I'm going to make this a bridge, and we're going to curve over the highway. So I'm going to actually go 10 units by 3. No, I'm going to go 6. 10 units. Then we're going to go another 10 units, and we're going to go up to 12. Then let's see if we can maybe how do we do this so we get a really nice curve? I wonder if I can, if the game will let me. Right there. Okay. So what's nice about this is it was just a whim, right? So let's go back down by 10, and then to ground level another 10. So this is just sort of a whim type of a thing. But now what we're doing is we're sort of, you know, where does this road go, right? Like, where does this connect? And what's nice is we can sort of connect it anywhere. My guess is to just create a little more infrastructure. This we can keep going straight with, right? Keep creating our avenue. What if this just curves nicely to there? See, now what we did with this is instead of creating everything as a grid, we just made sort of a really funky, cool little thing that will change just the way this looks, but also be kind of nifty looking. And a great way to get across to the other side of the highway. Now, see how this sort of has a little dip in it, right? It's not perfect. What we can do is go back and go all the way. Why is this not going to let us do this? Am I lying to you? Okay, I lied. I have no business making a tutorial series when I don't even understand how this game works sometimes. I thought for sure if I would have deleted that, it was going to create a nice, gentle slope down. But it didn't. You live and you learn. Alright, well, let's, my credibility just gets diminishing by the minute. So I want to continue this neighborhood out because I really like it, but now we have that bridge and it sort of mixes it up a little bit. So let's kind of see how we want to keep doing this. So let's go to another 20 units. We don't have any this way, so we'll start doing it in this direction. And let's go out 30. And another, how about we go, I guess that's actually 40. Let's go like that. It's kind of nice, isn't it? Up, up, and then I'll just do that. Okay. I like it. I like it. Now, can we get... Great. 90. And then right here, do another one. And then we go like that and like that. Cool. I think that looks really, really awesome. So this sloping down sort of effect to it. Awesome. All right, so let's make sure it's watered. It is for the most part. Remember our 440 and up. And now we have so much demand for residential, so let's get these in here. I'm going to delete this so we get our zoning scores back. There we are. Let's just do a whole bunch. And then we'll do some more commercial along here. That. And we have to unpause for the game to move. We should take a huge chunk out of this residential demand and quite possibly hit our goal here. I don't know. It'd be nice to hit 1 before the end of this episode. So let's see. See if we can make it happen. While we're waiting, I am actually going to start bridging this thing. And I want it to be very gradual because what I would like to do is get another road, potentially. So let's go to 6. Actually, let's go to 9. And then we'll do another 3. To 18. And then, let's see here. We go up and make it as level as possible. Perfect. There we go. That's what I want. let's go 10, 2, 2, and then down. How's that look? That's pretty nice. So let's try to attempt the same thing over here. What is this height? It's not going to tell me, is it? I think it's 18, though. 2. 2. Down. Great. This side might be a little funky. I need to go to there. And then up. It's gonna do that. But I'm willing to bet if I go like this, I can now connect these and it should look a little nicer. Can't. Yeah, that's the idea, I guess. It just isn't as nice as it was on the other side. Let's try it again. I guess we'll have to live with that. Will this give me a nicer slope if I go like this? It will. Great. Okay. Little wins. Sometimes it's about little wins. You can demand perfection only to a point, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? Not really. Roads aren't perfect. We're not perfect, right? But what this does is it allows me to get another road under here and maybe connect up with this somehow over here when we have more neighborhoods over here. Very cool. We're very close to our thing. We're 500 people away. Less than 500 people. We still have a little bit of residential demand, so I wonder if we can hit it. Let's actually try and get this road under here. Yeah, maybe something like that. Just to have a connecting road to our other side here, where we may do very similar style of neighborhoods, just to fill this in. Yeah. All right, so a little bit more residential, or I'm sorry, commercial. We actually need some more residential over here. Fill all this in. There we go. Not getting too much demand for that anymore, but we can sneak in a little bit more commercial. Right there. Yeah, I really like this neighborhood. It's very cool. I don't know how these are all gonna... We could always connect these with some sort of a curve, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know how that goes yet, but I can figure that out. And surprisingly, what's crazy is this many people is supporting just this much industrial, right? And they're still needing workers. So there is... You never want to zone too much industrial, because only zone it very small quantities until, and then wait for it to go down before you do too much of it, because otherwise you'll end up zoning too many and you'll be getting all of these signs where it's there, you know, no workers and all of this stuff. That eventually will get better as the game progresses, but right in the beginning, it's somewhat hard to balance the two, and that's okay. Just make sure you keep an eye on it. We are starting to get a little bit of that tick back, so hopefully some of these jobs get filled. These buildings don't get abandoned. The only risk we run with this road is that people may use it as a cut through, and then we have people cutting through our neighborhoods. So my thinking is that we may end up not wanting to actually connect to this avenue, and maybe just make another little neighborhood in here, because you just want to avoid trucks cutting through neighborhoods to ever get somewhere else, right? Like, you don't want large oil tankers coming through here, carrying oil through your neighborhoods, because that is just a recipe for a traffic nightmare. Now, another thing that's not great is this intersection is really close to this roundabout. And see how it's blocking it up like that? Well, we should remedy that. You know, you could remedy this. Let's go, like, up to here. Right up there. And what we're going to do, something a little fun. Now, because the landfill is here, we're not gonna have the perfect curve for this. But hopefully, that's gonna mess that up. I want to bridge over this, so in order to get out, you have to use this road. It just pushes the traffic back a little further, but I don't know if that's gonna work for now. What we can do, though, I wonder if we can go like this. And now this is not going to be on road access. Apparently this still has road access. So this is good, because then we just push these in. And now there's no traffic light here. Now, we could have gotten rid of the traffic light here, but that's not very realistic, right? Now, this really shouldn't be a... There we go. We got our next milestone, which unlocks some more roads. All that good stuff. We also have large hospitals, fire stations, and headquarters. They just supply a larger area. We get an oil power plant. We get a whole bunch of parks and things. Loving this. So yeah, this really should not have a traffic light. So let's go into our junctions. Let's say no. This is a stop sign here. But really, I want all trucks to be able to turn right and to go straight. The only issue that we're sort of running into now is that no one will ever use this lane. See how there's no marking here? No one will ever use this interior lane on this strip, just because we are running into an in-only situation over here. I'm actually going to have this go out this direction. We're going to have to change this at some point. But for now, this will work. So, and then we could do this. So, in, only. I don't know. This is not a perfect solution. It's not a perfect solution, but I'm just trying to work through some of them with all of you, instead of just doing it off screen and then, you know, telling you what I did later. I like to explore while I play. That's how I play City Skylines. Again, I'm no expert at this game, right? I am no expert at all. But so it's fun to be able to do this, and then feel free to ask questions in the comments or what have you on why we did things, or if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Everyone plays this game a little differently, and all those ways are okay by me. Awesome. Everybody, I think that is going to do it for this episode. We were able to expand our quaint little neighborhood over here, which is really nice. And I think it's looking really good. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Please do drop a comment on anything that you would like to see, or any sort of thing you would like to see built or talked about. I would be happy to hear your suggestions, and we'll see you in the next episode of Say Skylines. Bye, everybody.